Part 2. Back to the drama mamas. I'm
Hello.
Angela.
I'm Kristen. I almost said I'm Kathy.
Oh my God.
We switch it up. Kathy.
Yeah.
I'm Kristen.
I'm Kathy.
No, you got to get Jersey.
Situations.
Kathy.
Situation.
I got to get the hand movement in there.
We got this situation going
We've decided
Hold on, my
Kathy's
hair's-
favorite word is situation.
You got to fold my hair in half. Hold on.
Noticed.
There we go.
on. Yeah,
I'm Kathy.
put your hair up. Exactly.
Oh, we've already caught up. We're filming or recording on the same day that we did the previous podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, because we need to get a little bit ahead. I think
know.
we're going to have a hard time recording when the kids are doing Frozen
Yes,
next weekend.
next weekend's going to be a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like a part 2 from the first one, part 1, talking about theater etiquette.
Right.
So part 1 was from the point of view, or POV, getting all fancy,
We're getting fancy.
of watching and like being able to be at the theater. And then this one's going to be all about etiquette
When you're an actor.
when you're an actor.
Right.
Exactly.
When you're
Yeah.
in the show.
Yep.
Because we have all seen actors that when they're not doing the right thing, it affects everybody.
That is true.
It trickles down from making rehearsal go longer or all kinds of things. So we want to talk about if your child is cast in a show, here's what they should do.
Yes.
Okay.
First of
And
all,
it's for adults too.
well, yeah, anybody.
Yeah,
It's just life.
it is.
Okay, arrive early to all rehearsals and productions.
Yes.
So you got time to like get yourself settled, put your stuff down.
Yes.
Don't be coming running in the door the second it starts.
With your Starbucks
Well,
or whatever.
honestly, if you have a kid at all that's in the performing arts, arrive early. We got Michaela's concert a couple of weeks ago. We were sitting, we had dropped her off and we went to Publix, got, pub subs, and then we're sitting in the parking lot eating before the show. Because we had time to kill, but like not a lot of time to
Right.
kill.
Yeah.
Because she has to be there, I don't know, I think it's like an hour and a half before. And it's pretty standard. We see that a lot with like the community theater, about an hour and a half before. But I don't want to sit around for an hour and a half, and usually we haven't eaten dinner. So anyway, we're sitting in the parking lot, and I watched 2 kids that were easily 45 minutes
geez.
past the call time.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like pull up and like haul butt to go get their instrument.
Try to wiggle in.
And I was like, dude, they were supposed to be on stage a while ago.
Oh, dear.
A long
That's
time
not
ago.
good.
Yeah,
Yes.
because Michaela's teacher will like post in the remind. He's like, hey, you're called at this time. That means instrument in hand and sitting
Right.
on stage in your chair, ready
Yeah,
to play.
That doesn't
Ready to
mean you're
go.
walking in the door. That means you're ready to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're going to be late, that things happen, traffic,
Yeah.
whatever.
Let them know.
Let
Text
the
them.
stage manager know. Don't
Yeah.
text the director if you have their number. The stage manager is the person that you need to contact. Just
And just let them know you're going to be
Right.
running at least, a couple minutes late.
and if you're just going to miss it altogether, absolutely let them know because
Yeah,
They'll be
They
worried.
can make arrangements. Like
Right.
arrangements can be made if you're sick, if you're unable to
Yeah.
get there, if an accident happens and you have to go to the ER. Like stuff happens, especially with kids.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we, on the production crew, we are prepared to handle that, provided you let us know ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I mean, Lily Kate during Rudolph had to do some of that. She had to fill in
Almost
as a
every
reindeer.
time. Yeah, she
Yeah.
had to fill in for a dancer. Yeah. Because it happened. Somebody was sick.
Yeah.
All right, when you come to rehearsal, you need to come prepared. Know if you're working a certain scene and you know you're working that scene, know your lines. Think about your character and what your character is doing in that scene. Where are you on the stage? Just come prepared because when you don't know what you're doing, it affects everybody else. And if you don't know your lines, that really messes people up. I know the other day in rehearsal, Lily Kate was working with her scene partner and they didn't know their lines. And she's like, I didn't know when to deliver my line because they were so far off that it wasn't making sense anymore. So it's just know your lines. And I know sometimes you forget. That's normal. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
But just come prepared.
Yeah. If you're supposed to be off book,
Yeah.
make sure you're off book by that
If you're
date.
supposed to have your jazz shoes on, then have your jazz shoes.
And even if you're off book, still bring your script.
Yes.
Bring it because
You
right
need to make
before you go
notes.
on, yes, you can restudy and know what's going on. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of prep that needs to happen when you're not at the theater. You know, there's a lot of homework.
Yeah,
when you're
absolutely.
in a show.
Yeah. And like you said, bring your book because your blocking might change and you
Yes.
might need to write that down in your book.
Absolutely.
So have your book, have
Yeah.
something to write with, a pencil, because you're going to have to erase those marks
Oh
at
yeah,
some point.
there's lots of times where
yeah.
I have to bring extra pencils as an SM for usually for kids,
Right.
Yeah.
productions.
Yeah.
But bring extra pencils just so that you can loan a couple out. You're never gonna get back.
Right.
And you're not going to want them back because they're in
Never.
other
Also
orifices.
that, yeah. Oh gosh, kids, germ factories.
All right, we're going to head back to the cell phone territory
Okay.
because children don't seem to understand that they can live life without their phones.
Oh, I know.
I know plenty of adults that
Well,
live in
that's
that
true.
same
That's true.
sphere.
But we should know, like, we didn't have them our whole lives.
Yeah.
We know there's a difference. I don't think kids necessarily know there's a difference. Like, you don't have to answer that text right now. So when you come in, you're ready to start rehearsal, your phone should be off and put away.
Yep.
Because if
Put
your
it in your
parent
bag.
needs to get you, they have the stage manager's number. Why can't I say that word today? They'll contact you.
Yeah.
So just put
Well,
your
there's,
phone away.
I mean, I understand too, a lot of kids have a tablet babysitter, especially the young ones. And, I know we do at our community theater sometimes cast 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and 8-year-olds. And when they come to the theater, they're not always on stage, but there's this balance. And you want your kid to be able to entertain themselves when they're not on the stage. However, it's actually really tough when they're not paying attention at all.
And they miss their cue.
Yeah, they're gonna
Yeah,
miss
because they
everything.
don't know when they're supposed to be on stage. And then
Yep.
the stage manager, the assistant stage manager, the director will turn to them and be like, hey, so-and-so, aren't you supposed to be on stage now?
And they're like,
Okay, we're going to go
Huh?
back, and that's rehearsal. Well,
Yeah.
when you get to the actual performance, they really need to not have those. I understand they're not on stage the whole time. They need to find another way to entertain themselves that allows them to still maintain some kind of focus on the event that they're there for.
yeah.
And it's not just the little kids, because we've had big kids in the dressing rooms
Teenagers,
on their phones and miss their cues because they're
Yes.
That's
looking
very
at
true.
TikTok or something.
Yeah. And they huddle. It tends to bring social hour, right? So they huddle together. Oh,
Yeah.
did you see this?
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing. Da-da-da-da. And you walk in and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
we
dude.
didn't know we were supposed to go. I'm like, the monitor's right there. You can't pay attention to the monitor. You're missing that you're supposed to be on right now.
Yeah.
I'm not your babysitter.
Yeah, technology
Yeah.
is difficult.
Yeah. Well, and another thing with the phones is taking pictures. So in the dressing rooms, pictures should never be taken.
No, exactly. No pics.
No pics. And nobody's picture outside the dressing room without their permission. I know we had an instance one time where kids were taking pictures and posting, and those didn't want their picture posted. So just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Your purpose at the theater is for the show. And I think if you keep that in mind,
Yeah.
then, the rest hopefully will follow.
Yes.
Doesn't always.
All right. When you get your costume, we've talked a little bit about this.
Yeah, I feel like this was maybe something we've said before with the...
Yeah, maybe in the
was
beginning.
Was it Laura's
I think so.
episode?
There's a
maybe?
couple of things added in here. Obviously, we've said before, don't
It's worth
complain.
repeating.
Right. Don't never complain about your costume. We were, okay. Were you there? No.
I don't know.
Rudolph.
Yeah. Hello.
A person who was in Oliver
Okay, yeah, no, we didn't do Oliver.
was complaining about waiting to go in and sing to audition, complaining about their costume from Oliver.
Oh, auditioning for something else.
For a
Okay.
different show. It's just
Really?
a no-no. Yeah. Your design team, your director, everybody's come together to decide what your costume should look
Yes.
like, and that's what you're
You don't get a say in that.
No, we don't.
You don't get a say in that.
Yep. If you have a concern about your costume, talk to your costumer. This doesn't fit me right. My pants are falling
this
down.
burlap
or
itches.
Right.
I
Bring
mean,
it
I
up.
get it.
Put a little
There's
something.
some things,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Just bring it up to them. Arrive on time for your costume fittings and be clean. Don't be
clean.
stinky. Take a
No.
shower. Use your deodorant.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, how many times have we gone in, especially with the kids' productions? But it's not always just the kids. You go in the
No.
dressing room and it smells like
It's like
feet.
a big old armpit.
It's bad.
Yeah.
The worst is that preteen girl where they haven't hit that yet. So maybe they're not wearing deodorant all the time. Or maybe they put it on in the morning and they didn't reapply. Because your older girls, they're onto it. They
Right.
got it. They know that they need to use deodorant. But sometimes those preteens, I'm talking anywhere from 9 to like 12.
Yeah, you need deodorant.
Yeah.
You need to do a pit check.
Because
just
trust
little-
me,
yeah.
it's coming up.
Nacho feet.
Yeah, it's bad. It's
bad.
Oh, and
Damn,
wear
y'all
It'll make your
undergarments.
eyes
like
water.
Do you
nacho
have that in there?
I do. Wear
Okay.
proper and clean undergarments.
Yes, wear undergarments.
Yeah.
You should not be getting down naked.
Right.
There should not be
In the
any
green
of
room.
that. Like,
I think I heard some of that was happening in one of the
Oh.
more recent productions that an
Yes.
adult was in the dressing room naked.
even if your parent is in
Oh,
there
dear.
with you,
Naked.
it should
Oh.
not be happening.
No,
Yeah.
Nobody needs to see that.
no.
No.
Wear proper
We shouldn't even
undergarments.
see like panties. We shouldn't
Yeah,
even see
right.
underwear.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Yeah,
see your bra.
leotard, you got
Like,
safety shorts. There's all kinds of options
yes,
for everyone.
boys too. Boys need to wear.
Because you're going to be
shorts.
changing. Very rarely does a person have one costume for the entire show. If you have a hairstyle, when you're cast, sometimes not often and sometimes they'll say, "Don't change your hair." Like when you get that call to say you're in the show,
Oh, yes.
don't cut your hair. That's
Don't
important.
cut your hair. Don't dye your hair.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
because it's part of your character.
And especially once the show has started, don't alter your hairstyle. If the costumer
No.
said that your hair should be one way, then that's the way
Yes.
it needs to be. Don't-
Unless the director has asked you to.
right. Absolutely. Right.
Yeah,
but don't
if-
make choices for
You
yourself.
can ask
We've had a couple
if
boys
you're
that-
allowed to change it.
Right.
You tell them what you're wanting to do. They will
Yeah.
approve or not approve.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, generally they really don't want you to change anything.
Right. Right.
No,
You've
there's
got
a
a
They
reason.
certain
casted
look.
you as is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, and last thing about costumes, if there's something rips or tears, I kind of already said this, make sure somebody knows before the
Yeah,
next
tell
show.
somebody.
Like tell the
Yeah.
stage manager so they can address
Yeah.
it before the
They'll have
next
to
show.
fix it.
All
Yeah.
right.
Or your costumer if they're back there.
Yes, in the dressing rooms. So we're transitioning from costumes and dressing rooms, kind of the same. But they're such a mess. Like, find your spot, keep your stuff in your spot, and then organized. Doesn't need to be all over the floor. And when the show is done for the night, clean up your area. Don't leave behind the water bottles and the candy wrappers and
Yeah.
the this, that, and the other.
Oh, all the hangers
my
and
goodness.
the food and
Yes.
the makeup. Like and can we just add this in here? You might have this on here, but don't share makeup that goes on your face.
That was the next thing on my list. Yeah.
Yes.
Because that happens a lot.
Yes, and it's very hypoallergenic. Like it's bad.
It's all
you don't
kinds of
want to
things.
use somebody else's sponge from
Yeah.
like foundation
Right.
or that
eyeliner. I mean, what
Yes,
if you have a-
give
yeah.
yourself conjunctivitis. You don't want to share lip gloss. Like
Or we had where one girl used somebody else's foundation or something and she had an allergic
She
reaction.
had an allergic
Yes.
reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just bring your own makeup, use your own makeup. If you don't have it, then you don't have it on that day. Don't borrow somebody else's.
Yeah.
Use deodorant, we said that. Don't use perfume. Another instance we had, a girl was very allergic and somebody was spraying perfume in the dressing room and she got really sick.
Yeah.
So-
It's important to keep in mind, I think, you are in kind of tight quarters usually.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know very many theaters that have just gobs and gobs of room for you to spread out.
Right.
I mean, even on Broadway,
they're
especially
tiny,
on
yeah.
Broadway,
Yeah.
you're in tight quarters. You're with everybody, so just be considerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always boils down to being considerate.
Yeah.
Always hang up your costume. Unless there's like a quick change that a crew member is helping you with, they can hang it up for you, but hang up your costume. And now we know to hang it tits to the left.
Yep.
Yes.
And make sure all your pieces are there.
Yes.
So many times like hose or, little ears or something they might
Yes,
have get left on the
socks.
floor and then they don't have them.
Yeah, pick up your
So-
hose.
And then the next
Yeah.
day they come in and they're like, "Hey, did you see my gloves?"
find my-
and I'm
yeah.
like, "Did you put them with it last night?"
No, yeah.
Oh, and if it's not yours, don't take it.
Right.
So, can't find mine. I'm just going to borrow from Angela.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
no, because
Yeah.
that has happened as well. And that's not fair, you know?
And it would be smart to check your costume before you leave. Make
Correct.
sure you got all your pieces before you leave, and so it's not a panic time the next day you come in and you don't have what you need.
Exactly. Nothing worse than when you walk in the dressing room and you see costumes on the floor because somebody took a really, really, really long time to make those. Put lots of effort into that.
They'll just step right on them.
I know.
Step over.
Oh,
Don't hang out in the dressing room. There's a green room. You can hang out there, get changed, do what you need to do, and then move so that other people can use it. Because sometimes kids are coming in for a quick change and they can't get to where they need to be because
especially this next big show. There's
Yes,
like
a lot
65
of
kids in
kids.
Nemo. We're not going to have a lot of space.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
For y'all. I'll be in Margaritaville.
Bitch.
Wait, so she's not going to be helping out backstage at all?
I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know yet. I'll know when we set Margaritaville's schedule.
Okay.
Just dawned on me.
I reached out to the stage manager for an email, and I was like, hey,
Okay.
I will let you know if I can help, because I had already gotten a message from the director about asking if there was going to be any way that I can be involved. And I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, you may be on your own. I don't even know if he'll be able to finagle it or not, because,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Got
Well,
the JOB.
Kathy.
Yeah.
Oh dear. It's down to us.
Great.
If they even let us.
Yeah.
I gave them warning that we were normally, the crew and
yeah.
PJ and then,
Yeah.
Juan
Juan.
usually. Yeah.
Juan already told PJ.
Well, it was funny
if I
because
need help, I'll let you know.
I was
PJ was like,
messaging with
okay,
her.
You do that.
I was messaging with the stage manager, and I think she didn't realize, or remember who I was, which, 65 kids and all of their parents, I can understand how you can get them all mixed up. Except, I helped train her, so that should have gotten me somewhere. But, yeah. So, anyway, and I was, having these messages back and forth with her, and I was like, hey, I feel like there might be some confusion about who I am, just laying it out there. Usually, because I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to volunteer this time.
Yeah.
I will let you know as soon as I know. And she was confused. She's like, oh, well, Becky's handling all the parent
I like chaperones.
chaperones. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
you're
was like,
like,
oh,
no.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be confusing about this, but I don't do that. I'm
I've
backstage.
graduated from that.
Yeah, I'm not babysitting kids. Sorry. Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, also, you'll have Angela and Kathy and, Juan and sometimes PJ and
Stella.
Chris. And yeah, and so I was like, well,
Max
that's your
helps,
crew,
too.
just so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know if she's kind of gotten that far down the
Right.
path.
I mean, that's
She's doing
great now.
great.
Oh my gosh, the emails and everything are
Yes,
wonderful.
and all of the
Yes.
organized stuff. But
Yes.
Yes.
there's some stuff I don't know what she knows. So it was kind of like, here's information you need to know.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not a fucking
Worst
chaperone.
case.
To be clear,
Anecdotally, I've moved on.
I
from
want to
that.
check in with Becky on that one. Be like, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that.
I think Becky is well aware.
Yes. We all have our gifts.
Well, it's funny because I said that, and then she came back. She was like, "Oh, right, yeah, no, okay."
I got you.
Yeah, I was
Nope,
just
nope,
kind of like,
nope.
"Hey, I know you've seen a lot of parents this week, but
Yeah.
come on,
Exactly.
look at the profile pic." Anyway,
Okay. Keep your voice and laughter down when you're in the green room, in the dressing room.
Oh,
we can hear you.
The kids realize because
They
they'll
don't.
cluster. The littles will cluster right outside those double doors. Man, you can hear everything right
Everything.
on in there.
I know it's hard.
Like-
Sometimes they're sitting for a very long time, but
They
that's
are,
important.
yeah,
And then
there's
they'll be
nothing worse
good,
about being the
and
parent
they'll
chaperone
ramp
back
up
there, and you're
again.
telling them all to shush,
they
and they just look at you,
roll
roll
their
their eyes. They're just
And they go right back to doing whatever they
and
were doing.
and they're totally
No.
full volume.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't last 20 minutes these days. I'd
We
get into
used
it.
to.
I know we did. I don't know. Was I younger? Had more patience?
That was
I don't
before
understand.
COVID.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
COVID made me a bitch. I just had it too.
Great. You're up in your bitching.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, I asked you to be quiet. And then I
Yeah,
expected
did you not hear me?
I know.
You looked right at me. I felt like there was recognition of the words that I said to you.
Exactly.
And I was like, be quiet. And you were like, God,
Look at her eyes.
You
You're getting all bugged out just thinking about
the
it.
truth, though.
It makes I think, like I'm going to have a stroke.
I know.
This is why I don't want
You
to do
do
the kid
not
chaperone.
need to be chaperone.
No, I do not.
No.
It's hard enough not to, say mommy words. Like,
Especially when you have children of your own that know when I say something, this is what I mean.
Right. That's the problem.
And then
that's
you
the problem.
around
You're like,
other
I didn't
people's
raise
kids.
you, so
Right.
I know.
Would you have a different word? You
It's
call it
obvious
something
I didn't
else?
raise you because if I had raised you,
Right.
you wouldn't
You
be
wouldn't
like
be doing
this.
that.
Right, exactly. And if their parents were here, hopefully they wouldn't be like this either.
Right.
But
You never know. I've
Yeah,
seen
you
it
never
happen.
know. Not all parents
I'll
are the
tell
same.
you what.
Yeah.
The worst that gets me, and I know we're totally going off here, but we're just gonna go.
That's what we do.
Is like when even the older kids, you ask them to do something and they just look at you, and they just go, and I'm like,
Yeah. Even kids who have been there for a while have had that happen.
6 years old, like Listen to what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
I had the headset on. Like, I
kind of authority.
A big
This
league
means
now.
listen to me. You see this headset?
It goes up, it goes down. I can talk in it.
Yeah, it goes
it's a headset situation.
guys, these kids don't listen. Flip it back up.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
I know, Kathy. Flip it back up.
Shut it, Kathy.
They never listen.
No, did you hear me? They're not listening.
It's okay. When they get in front of the fly and it comes down on top of them, it's going to be that learning experience. Flip.
And then you get Juan in there, you know.
They'll eventually listen.
Yeah, they'll figure it out pretty darn quick.
Lord have mercy. So bless Becky because she's going to handle all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coordination of that.
Yeah.
Speaking of headsets, we can move into the backstage behaviors. People who are on headsets, headsets are meant for calls,
Yes.
for this actor's got a problem with this and we need help. It's not for making jokes and talking about what you're doing this week. Yeah, the chatter, because it's actually very dangerous because I think
that's what happened when I got hit.
There was people chattering and the flies couldn't hear and they thought they heard the word go, but or somebody said go who wasn't supposed to say go and the fly went and it was not good.
No.
So if you get to a place where you have a headset's for business. It's not for fun and games.
And it's also not for holding people hostage and making them listen to you sing something that you were not cast to sing.
Oh my God, has that happened?
Yes, it has happened.
Oh my gosh.
Like just because you have a headset doesn't mean you get to sit with it down and sing along from the booth or whatever.
The only person who should have it down is the person calling the show.
Yes, and you should be calling the show, not singing.
Right.
No.
Because that's specifically what I'm talking about. Call the show.
Oh, wow.
We're not here to listen to you sing it.
Yeah. No.
Okay, we'll need more details about that later.
Yeah.
I need to know about this.
Yeah. And, I mean, honestly, we joke around a lot, but it is very serious when you're on that.
If there's a bunch of chatter happening or whatever, it can mask text, like text that needs to go through.
Right.
Yes.
You know?
And people need to pay attention to the show. Like, just because your part that you're helping out on that show at that point isn't happening at right then, you need to still pay attention. Because even though we've done it a million times this way, you should kind of get the timing.
Yeah.
So if you're not paying attention and you hear the go, oh, must be me. Bloop, here comes the fly. No, if you had been paying attention, you would have known that was way too early for that to have happened. Can you tell I'm a little bitter?
Yeah.
Yes. Or if you're paying attention, you might find the missing mustache stuck to the back of somebody's
Oh my
skirt.
gosh, the mustache.
That was so funny.
That was really funny.
What did they call him, that thing? It had a name.
It had a name, but I don't remember.
Felipe or
We could
something
not
like
find
that?
him. And then all of a sudden, in the
Something.
middle of a scene,
There it was, the back of the dress.
found a mustache stuck to the back of her dress.
Just to throw this out there, wigs and apparently sometimes mustaches get a name.
Yes.
Yeah, the name will change, but usually you christen them with a name when you get your wig.
Oh, our girls need to name their wigs.
I don't know. Yeah,
They need to.
I haven't asked if
We'll have to have a
Pinky has one
discussion.
in mind, but yeah.
Well, Lily
Is
Kate
Anna getting
names
a wig
everything, so yes.
Really?
Anna's getting a wing too? Okay.
Yeah.
A wig.
She's getting bangs and braids. Don't eat or drink backstage. You shouldn't be eating or drinking in costume, but
Yeah.
don't eat or drink.
Sometimes I'll let them if they have a coverlet, like something to put over them. But other than that,
Yeah, and then cast and crew shouldn't be talking backstage. A lot of times this happens, especially when you get like younger techs. They'll want to be talking to their friends when they should be paying attention to the show.
Yeah.
And that makes people miss cues and it's disruptive to other people, or you're standing in the way when somebody needs to get on the stage.
Correct.
So if you're not going on, you need to be in the dressing room or the green room.
Yeah,
not talking.
Don't hang out in the wings just to watch the show from the side.
exactly. You're just going to get in the way.
Yeah, you're going to be in the way.
And then safety's an issue.
Yep. When you have tech rehearsals, so those are like dry tech and wet tech. Are you the one who told me that wet tech is not the right name for something? Somebody told me it's not dry tech and, okay, never mind.
Maybe.
I couldn't
Ringing a
find
bell,
it.
but I don't
Yeah.
Why do we call it that then?
remember
It's not right?
that.
Everybody
Google
does
it?
because I kind of searched it.
I'm gonna Google that.
But
Yeah, I feel this is ringing a bell. It was when we did another one of these types of episodes, but I don't remember it now.
okay, we'll figure it out. But those days can be really long and you just have to be patient because those days are not about the actors, they're about the technicians. Is the lighting right? Is the set piece
As
where
an
it needs
actor,
to
you've
be?
had the last 2 or 3 months to get yourself ready for this show.
Right.
But the techs only get a week.
Right. That's not a long
I mean,
time.
at least in our experience,
Right.
they get a week.
Yeah, so if you're in the middle of a scene and they call hold, you need to be present still. You need to be paying attention because the director might want you to move a few steps this way, and it gets really frustrating when they're not listening and you have to keep calling their names. So just be patient and pay attention.
And if they say hold, it means stay
hold.
where you are.
Right.
Yes, not run
Right.
off the stage.
Yeah.
Not
Not
keep
take
talking.
your cell phone out of your pocket.
Not
No.
walk over to so-and-so and have a discussion with them.
No. This is called paper tech. It says sometimes dry tech is called paper tech.
But I think the thing was specifically about wet tech is
tech.
not wet tech.
It's just tech.
It's just tech, yeah.
But every time I search it, wet tech comes up, so I don't know. And then don't disrupt other people. So a lot of times during a dry tech or a wet tech, no, just during wet tech, the actors are sitting in the house or, they still need to be paying attention and get ready when their scene comes up.
Yeah,
a lot
'cause
of
you're
times they
running
get,
the whole show.
Right. And don't distract other people who need to be getting up and moving. All right, backstage drama.
Oh, man. Which there's always that.
And all
Yeah.
the romances that occur
Well,
and
I mean,
showmance.
These kids are always drama anyway. That's
Right,
why they're
that's in
in
their
drama.
blood.
Exactly. Yes.
But yes.
So I'm going to read
Always
this
so.
because I thought it was interesting the way it's worded. When you're in a show, the theater becomes a tiny universe.
Yes, it does.
Remember, it's temporary, and there is a real world outside the theater doors.
It just crushes my soul.
But it's true. I mean, you're all into this show for
Yeah.
2 months, 3 months, and then it's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ripped away from
I know.
you.
That's why you get the post-show blues.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get all this adrenaline. You get all this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know.
and everybody's a family. You're kind of a tight-knit
Yes.
unit. You're spending a lot of
Yes.
time together.
Yeah.
Your
So just-
dopamine is on overtime
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's so much fun and you're having a great time, and then it just whoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there shouldn't be any gossiping or talking about the person, how they're playing the character, what they did wrong. There's just no room for that because all that does is create
Yeah.
problems.
It does create a lot of problems. And honestly,
And you don't need it.
one of the things I have enjoyed the most about my experience with our community theaters, plural, is that you don't actually, there's always some of it, but you don't actually encounter all that much of it. Usually the kids are very supportive of one
Yes.
another.
Right.
Yes.
The only real drama that ever happens is people spending time doing things they ought not to be doing.
Right.
And then they miss cues
Right,
and
it
that
creates
kind of thing.
problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the occasional actor who gives another actor notes, which is a no-no.
Oh, it is a
that's-
no-no.
If you are
here.
not a director,
Yes.
you don't give notes.
And our kids will be the first one to tell them.
Yeah.
Don't. You're giving that person notes. Stop.
Yeah.
Well, and actually, part of something I read said you should never accept notes from another actor.
Yeah, I know.
You should
Yeah.
just say, this is not your
Sorry.
job.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
so
Yeah.
true. And the times that you ever, and we've heard about this in regular Broadway too. We talked about it when we had Hannah on. Is those people that are dramatic and are negative like that don't tend to last long.
They
That
don't.
is very true.
They will get
They get
weeded
weeded
out.
It's that whole you're always on an audition thing. We've said that a lot in our podcast, and we hear it a lot from our guests. But yeah, in the end, if you're kind of a jerk, nobody wants to work with you.
Yep.
And so therefore they don't.
Yeah. No.
Right.
It doesn't matter what level you're at.
And word
Doesn't matter if it's
travels
community
because the
or-
community is actually quite small.
It is very small.
Even from area to area. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So don't be a jerk.
Don't be
No,
a jerk.
And
Be a
don't
jerk.
gossip. And you're there. You should want to do everything you can do to help that show be a success and create that community and that family, because that's what's going to make a great show. If you're gossiping or you're talking bad about other people, that's just it's
Yeah.
going against what you want.
Yep.
Props.
If it's not yours,
Where's
don't
your
touch
shirt?
I know I should have worn my shirt.
Yes.
Is that your prop? I didn't think so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2 rules: never move, borrow, or play with a prop. And always check your props before the show. So if you have to preset something somewhere, you need to make sure that prop is where it needs to be.
If there's a prop somewhere, it was preset by somebody,
Yes.
and
Don't
it's not
move
your
it.
prop, don't touch
Yeah.
it.
Don't touch it. Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not at all.
Don't be helpful and clean
Because
up.
when they come run off stage and they're looking for the thing they preset, now it's not there.
Right.
You're going to be like, oh, that's right. I
Oh,
put
those
that back
cookies
on
were a
that table."
prop. I thought somebody left their snack out.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't touch
No.
props. Even if it's yours, you shouldn't be playing with it
No.
before a show. Just
Yes.
no, unless you're on the
And
stage.
it's never a bad idea to make sure your technicians know backstage that you have preset something
Yes.
so they know not to move it
Right.
too. Because a lot of times,
I've made that mistake. before.
I found
we
a
will.
prop that was preset on a piece that needed to go out.
Oh,
And I had to move it. I didn't have a choice. And then
Yeah.
they came out looking for it, and I'm like, it's over on the prop table. Because you put it on the table, I had to roll out 3 times between now and then.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
So it
you know?
couldn't live there.
Right.
You need to
Yeah.
find a new place for it.
Yeah.
yes.
And the actors are ultimately responsible for their
Yeah.
props. As
Yes.
the stage crew, like we will do everything we can to help you and to preset whatever, but there needs to be communication about that. You need to
Absolutely.
say, hey, this is where I'm putting
I
this.
will help you make sure that umbrella is where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you
yep.
tell me ahead of time, I will take that responsibility.
Right.
Yes, but
Right.
there has to be communication. Don't ever assume.
No.
Yeah.
We had an issue with that in a couple past shows.
We've
that
come
we've
into
done.
a couple of shows before to do stuff, and the actors had been handling it. And then suddenly, because techs were present, it was assumed that we would handle it. And it's like,
What?
we don't handle the props. That's your
Yeah.
crap.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless we have talked about it,
Yeah.
it's
Sometimes
not
it's
my
like-
job.
Sometimes
and
they're like,
agreed upon it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll put the
Sometimes
sugar in the sugar
they
bowl.
can't help it. Like if
For
they're
you.
having to run from one side of the stage to
Right.
the other, they don't have time.
Yeah.
We'll have it ready for them.
Yeah,
But-
we'll work with
Yeah.
you, but it's ultimately your responsibility.
Yeah.
Not ours.
And if you should check that your prop is working properly if it needs to
Yes.
before the show. And if something happens, you need to make sure that the stage manager knows so it can be fixed before the next show. We don't remember if something broke on stage. You got to make sure you communicate that.
Yeah.
Or if you drop something on stage when you're coming off, tell us. Hey, I just dropped such and
Yeah.
such. It's over
And
there
it
in the center.
shattered.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's actually a good point. If you are on stage and you see that something is there that's not
Yes.
normally there, be what we call a smart actor and get it off the stage. Pick it up, do it
as
in a
subtle as you can.
nonchalant, subtle way. You know, if you're in a dance and you could just kick it off,
Right.
go for it. If
Yeah.
you are, able to bend over and grab it and stuff it in your pocket, go for it.
Yeah.
Be subtle, but be a smart actor and try to help get that out of there
Right.
because it's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jude was super helpful and shitty. We had a couple little
Oh.
thing and he would just
Picking them up.
Yeah.
I'm like, did he just put that in his mouth? Like it was like a marble or something.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
that's
Ew,
unsafe.
no.
And then he sung right through it.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness,
I don't
that's a
know.
little dangerous.
Chris might
You're doing the
remember that.
Heimlich.
Yeah, it was something. And he just shoved it in his mouth. I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
okay,
All
thanks,
right.
Jude.
Not sure I'd put it in my mouth.
Yeah, that's.
He did great.
I'm not sure I would recommend that.
No.
No, don't do that,
But-
kids.
There's a lot of
Hey.
You got pockets.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of feet on that
You
stage.
got bras. Shove it in your bra.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he chose that route, but
Well,
That's
worked.
so weird.
yeah.
So weird.
All right, when you were in the performance, the actual
weird.
performance, if you have one person in the audience or you have 300 people in the audience, everyone deserves the same show.
Yes.
Everyone deserves the same energy.
They talk about that. Consistency
Yes.
is key.
Right.
Don't ever switch it
Right.
up.
So when you are those 3 months before it's showtime, that's your time to make changes, to try and tweak and make your role your own. You get a, the stamp of approval or whatever from the director, and you move on. Once you get to showtime, it is now locked in. All of your decisions up to that point were yours to make with the director approval. But once you hit that spot, those were approved. Anything you do from that point on is not approved.
No, don't
Yeah.
change
Unless
anything.
you talk with the director and you guys have decided to change something.
Right. But
Yeah,
don't
but
make
not
a choice
on your
Which
own.
now.
does happen.
It does. Yeah, like PJ
Sometimes.
in Chitty, him and his scene partner, they made lots of little tweaks and stuff to be funny, but PJ always ran everything by
Yeah.
the director.
Yeah.
Like, hey, did that go okay? Did you like that? I can do it this way next time,
Because you
or-
might have a great idea, but
Right.
you have to get it approved. Never
Absolutely.
make changes. And a lot of times on the last performance, people start getting real silly and wanted,
Yeah,
ad-lib
it's
and-
hard not
lines.
to want to do something real funny
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I've seen this happen too, where I think it was like during Beauty and the Beast, there was a picture
Oh, yeah.
that was Was that one of the
Well,
ones
practical jokes are not appropriate.
Yes.
So go ahead and tell that story.
Well, okay. I mean, I think I remember it anyway. So somebody had put a different
it was
picture.
Gaston's picture.
Yeah. And they changed it, right?
the
they
pub?
they put like a different picture in there or something.
I can't remember if that or they hid it in the castle, like where it wasn't supposed to be, so they would see it when they were doing a scene. It was something like the
it was
picture.
something like that, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
So they were practical joking, which is really not appropriate.
Yeah, it's not
Because then
appropriate.
it can throw the actor off. They could, miss their line or something like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's hard when, like you said, it's the last show and you're wanting to
Yeah, just you want to have, I don't
silly.
know, like a good time with
Right.
it. You've been doing it for however many weeks.
Right. But the first audience should see the same show as the last audience.
Absolutely.
Don't make changes. All right. Wait a minute. I'm missing my heading. Oh, behavior. Okay. Was on the wrong page.
There's a lot of papers there.
All right.
I know. A lot of etiquette.
Be courteous. Always say please and thank you. That's
Yes.
just life. Okay.
Yes.
But it's especially important to your technicians. Sometimes actors come in and don't always treat technicians with the respect that they deserve. So you need to be on good behavior and use your manners and everything with your technicians. Hold on.
Just to add to that while you're looking at your page there, like sometimes your technicians are also actors. They understand what it's like to be on stage. Don't act like a diva
No.
and like you're better than they are.
Exactly.
We're all the same, and it takes all of us to put that show on.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And just because I was willing to be somebody pushing out a table this time
yeah, it doesn't mean.
doesn't mean I'm any less than you.
Right.
Or the fact that I'm tying your shoes for you. Or,
Yeah, or helping you with
Put
a
you in a
quick
clown
change.
suit.
Put me in a closet.
Yes. Don't be a diva.
No.
Yeah.
Keep it together.
Yeah. Just respect.
Be kind. Yeah.
When the stage manager or whoever is calling, 15 to places, 10 to places, you should respond with thank you 15, thank you 10, so that they know that you heard them.
Yes.
Because it happens over and over again. Well, I didn't hear the call when they missed their cue.
Oh,
Nobody
since
told
that
me.
last time, I'll say right to your face. And if you don't tell me thank you 15, I'm like, okay, we're good.
Yep.
Because it'll drive me
I'll
crazy.
keep saying it until
I'll walk
I
in the
get it.
dressing room and I'll say 10 to places and nobody will say a word. I'm like, anybody hear me? Thank you, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really should be responding
Yeah.
with enthusiasm that I
And if it's
heard
like
you.
one person who said it, but there's a little cluster of people over there that I know aren't paying attention.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear me? Because
Yeah.
I know you didn't reply.
Right.
Exactly.
Sometimes I want to just let them miss their cue to be like, I
Oh.
told you so. But
I know. You
But
got
that's
to.
not-
It's
that
hard
doesn't
not to
always
want to
work.
have that learning experience.
yes.
But then 9 times out of 10, they're still not going to take accountability for it. You
Right.
didn't tell me.
Not
Yeah.
my fault.
I did tell you.
Yeah.
When you get to like pre-show, you're waiting. Your call time is 5:30. Show starts at 7, and your stage manager says, "All right, get in costume. Come to mic check." You need to be in costume when you come to mic check.
Yeah.
It means everybody.
Yeah.
This is one of the weirdest things I
And they've
see.
been there for 45 minutes.
I know.
What the
Yeah.
hell have you been doing?
I've been in a lot of shows or participated in a lot of shows where mic check, they come out and they're just putting it on and holding it.
Yes.
And the thing is that mic was checked with it at that position. You're now going to take it off and put it back on, and instead of it being right here, it's now back here
Right.
or up here, and that completely changes the way that sound is.
level,
and now your sound technician is having to rebalance
Right.
and make tweaks and
You're making
changes
their
on the
job
fly.
harder.
And now the audience is having to hear, that person at a different volume than it was intended.
Yep.
They're not mixed right.
Right.
Yep. There's
And
a
it's
whole
all
reason
because
for
you
it.
didn't do what you needed to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just put your costume on. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Aren't you there to put on a show?
Well, and I think that goes back to it, right? Like how we said in part 1, you're there for the theater.
Right.
If you keep in mind that that's what you're there for,
Yeah.
and you're not there to be TikToking, and you're not there to be, hanging out with
Socializing.
your friends
Yeah,
and talking about what happened
making
at
a
school
TikTok.
that day.
That's my favorite. When they have to, excuse me, can you move because I'm making a TikTok? I'm like, what?
Yeah. No,
No,
you're not.
I can't.
I don't know. I've seen some really funny ones.
Well, I
though.
know they're great. But
There was
but
some
no.
really good ones from Into the Woods.
yeah,
Yeah. The whole cast did a couple of those.
yeah, they were cute.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, but don't do it. Okay. after rehearsals or a run through or something, your director and your stage manager are going to give notes. All right, when you get a note from your director, be courteous about it. You may not like it, but you need to say, okay, thank you, I
Right.
understand.
No attitude.
Right, and it's not your time to like dive into your character and have a conversation with the director. That's not what that time is for. This is what I need you to do. If you have, questions or something, you can come to the director later because there's a lot of notes to be given and other people are waiting.
Yeah, especially if there's a big cast. Like
Right.
a lot of kids shows tend to be very big casts.
Yes, and oh shoot, I just had a brain fart.
Oh man, those are the worst.
The big one. Hold on, we're talking about notes. Oh, pay attention.
I know.
Oh my gosh, like they'll be talking and they'll say, this ensemble group, we need you to do this. And they're all talking to each other or playing on their
playing
phones.
on their phone or on their tablet, babysitters or
and then
whatever.
they don't do it right the next night because they weren't paying attention. The only time you should be on your phone is if you're actually taking the note on your phone.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if they're not talking to you, your phone needs to be away. You need to be quiet and listening.
And the expectation from the director is that I'm giving you a note once.
Right.
They do not want to have to give the same note over night after night. They will remember that next time casting comes around. Like, hey, that person auditioned really well, but you know what? They completely did not pay attention to any guidance that I was giving. You
Right.
know?
Or they
About that.
continually changed the performance once it was supposed to be locked in.
Yes.
Right.
That is another thing
Yes.
I know they'll make note of and remember for the next time.
Yeah.
But it's all kind of that same thing. It's like
Yeah.
I gave you notes before.
Right.
And then,
Yeah, and that goes back to having your script so that you might need to make a note in your script, at this place I need to do this.
yeah.
Come through
So
Portal
if you-
2
It's a
instead
lot
of
to have
Portal
to
1.
remember.
It is.
But be prepared so that you can have a
Yeah.
fighting chance of remembering it.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine in a perfect world where every actor was doing what they were supposed to be doing at the time they were supposed to be doing, that they were paying attention and
It'd
doing
be
their
beautiful,
Can you imagine the
harmonious.
show they could put on?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
That would be.
I'm not sure it's ever gonna
God, I feel
happen
like we're
though.
up in our tower right now.
I gotta jump off my high horse. Give me a minute. Gotta dismount.
Especially considering you and I have never even ever been an actor.
Wait a minute. We were Bumble.
Okay,
you were
we were
Bumble.
Bumble.
We're
We had to
Bumble.
take a note. We took notes.
We took notes. We did
notes.
actually, and we did quite well.
Yeah, they were taped to the back of Bumble.
Yeah, they were.
because I didn't know what to do.
Wait, no, this is when we go over here.
Yeah.
No, your note's wrong. Your note's
No,
wrong.
no, abort.
Make his arm go. Make his arm go.
Yeah.
I would constantly be telling Kathy what to do. Okay, now Kathy, go, get down. We're falling. You're like, shut it. I know what to do.
I appreciated the direction. I like it. I have to make decisions all day long, so I'm cool.
Okay,
When
I'll
I get
push
to
you
the
around.
theater, just tell me what
I'll
to
tell
do.
you what to do. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into making a show.
Yeah.
A lot
There
of moving
is.
pieces.
A lot of blood,
so-
sweat.
Was
and
that all your
tears.
notes?
Yeah, that's my notes.
All right. Cool.
That's our etiquette.
I know.
Yeah.
And always ask questions. If you ever have, you're not quite sure, ask a question.
Yes. But don't ask questions that don't relate to what is being talked
Oh,
about.
well, right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Or when it's like something very personal to you that the rest of the cast doesn't need to hear. Not like a
Yeah.
personal matter, but just
Right,
something
right.
about your character, something that the rest of the people
Doesn't need the
don't
whole group.
Right, doesn't need to take their time.
If it's not for the good of the group,
right. Yeah.
make a special time.
Yeah. Do a one-on-one.
All
Yeah,
right. If you want to
exactly.
succeed and get recast, then follow these little etiquette rules and they'll notice you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Be
totally.
nice.
All
Be
right.
kind.
better.
Yeah. Be good little people.
All right. We'll check in after Frozen and see
yeah.
and Mary Poppins, see if how the
The experience went.
yes.
See if anybody
participants
applied some of this knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. And when they don't, we're going to say they didn't watch the podcast.
I know.
They do
I
not.
I feel like we need to get some like business cards printed out for Drama Mamas and just be like,
You might,
need
wanna-
you might need to listen to
episode
this.
26. This was for you.
For you. Here's
You're the person we're talking about. That's a great idea.
I mean, it's kind of a dick move to do it that way,
It's
but
kind of a dick move to sit there and talk in the middle of a show.
Yeah. Maybe I'll leave a blank. I'll leave a blank line so you can just write episode number 26. Yeah.
Title, theater,
Or whatever
etiquette.
episode this
Yeah.
is. I don't know what number we're on.
26, 27, somewhere in there.
Yeah, this will probably be 27, I think. So episode 27.
Okay.
Can you believe we've done 27
No,
of
I
these?
cannot.
I think that's where we're at. Yeah.
Gosh,
somewhere
no,
up there.
I believe it. I just, I can't believe it.
I know.
Been having so much fun.
I know.
We have a lot coming up, so we
Yeah,
have
we do.
plenty to talk about.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, once
You
we get
know?
on the flip side of Frozen and Mary Poppins,
Yeah,
which we may need to try and eke out another recording
Yeah.
between now and then, but like, yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll figure it out. And then we'll be sliding in an emo.
In summer.
Yeah, Margaritaville.
sometime. Yes, and Margaritaville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because like they used to play Jimmy Buffett music all through the Key West area of SeaWorld when I worked out
Oh,
there.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when I didn't work there anymore, like I went for years and I was like, I cannot stand Jimmy Buffett.
You're like, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah, for like years, like probably a good decade. And it kind of came back around and I was like, okay, yeah. Now I associate Jimmy Buffett music with like going on a cruise or whatever because like, that's how you always
right.
hear it, now. And I'm preparing myself to also not like Jimmy Buffett
I
in
know,
like 3 months.
It takes me back to college. It was super popular when I was in college.
Okay.
A lot of Buffett being
Margaritaville.
played.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lots of parrot heads.
Yeah, we'd drive over to Daytona Beach and,
Smoke some weed and
No, I did not smoke weed. People around me were smoking weed.
you were getting a contact high. Like us in New York.
Jeez. Yeah, at my first Dave Matthews concert.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, the first
I've
note
only
played
been
and
to
it was
one.
like
Yeah.
smoke cloud.
Like, I can't even see.
Did you see it over in Tampa in that amphitheater?
Yeah, the
That's where
amphitheater.
we saw him too. I don't know, a few years back, but
Yeah.
I had never seen him before.
There was
It was shocking.
A lot of weed smoking on that.
Yes.
That's like, holy moly.
Yeah. I was like, where are
chill
the cops?
people
Where are
hanging
the
out.
cops?
They were probably enjoying it too.
They had a great time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess that's the way to enjoy his music.
I enjoy it without that.
I thought it was pretty good too. What do I know?
Yeah.
Not doing it right.
I mean, I haven't done it the other way,
Maybe
so
that's
maybe there's
Dave
something
Matthews
to it.
etiquette. Get high and listen to my music.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or Jimmy Buffett, we just need to drink some margaritas.
Well,
cheeseburger.
LCT is planning. I don't know,
Right.
the particulars of,
Hopefully they will
of
do
it,
one.
but they're going to do an after tasting.
Oh,
I guess,
yeah.
of margaritas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that'd
don't
be
know
fun.
who's running it or how it's going to happen or how much it'll be or anything yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, because that's in
be fun.
July.
I'm not a big fan of margaritas.
What's the alcohol in those?
It's got tequila, so
Tequila,
that's
which
more
is
of a
why
So
I
then
like
drink.
I'm good with it.
That's
Yeah,
why I
I'm
like
a little.
tequila.
Yeah,
I'm
but
more of a pina colada girl.
they're always like sour. Yes, but
Yeah.
with tequila.
I've never had a pina colada.
I
with
don't
tequila.
Yeah, and I'm not a big rum drinker. I've
See,
never really
Malibu
liked it.
is like my jam.
Oh,
I
okay.
can put anything with some
Speaking
Malibu.
of college,
Speaking of gold.
Well,
I love pina colada.
I don't know. We did a lot of boons. I don't know. Drank a lot of Boone's Farm.
Oh, goodness.
what is that?
It's like
Oh.
a cheap
It's like
wine.
$3 bottle of wine.
Yeah, but
Was
like,
it a bottle though, or
Oh,
was
it was a bottle.
like
A
box
bottle.
wine?
It was a
Oh,
bottle,
bottle.
and one bottle of that would you're good.
Do all kinds of things, too.
Tasted like
You need
dessert.
a colon cleanse.
Yeah, all sorts.
Oh gosh.
You know,
Chris's eyes. And we're back to poop.
just like that.
Feels like a good place to end it.
Just
Yeah.
like that.
Always
It's
about the poop.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Anyway, so yeah, so stick with us. We got a lot of other fun stuff coming on.
Yeah,
Some good interviews.
plenty of future poop stories, I'm sure.
Oh, plenty.
Oh
Never a shortage of poop stories.
no,
Never.
no.
Not when you're working kid shows, anyway.
Oh, goodness.
Oh gosh. No, let's hope there's no vomit
Crop
this time
dusting.
around. Can we try? Can we
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Last show, that was rough.
Yeah, I don't do vomit.
Yeah, let's hope.
Had to throw away a whole
Yeah,
costume.
because if you vomit on your costume,
It's
you're
going in
done.
the trash.
Yeah.
well, they're not really usually cleaning friendly.
No.
No.
Like
And
they have
nobody
to
else
be
can wear
very
it.
specially steamed or dry cleaned or
Dry
whatever.
cleaned, a lot
Yeah,
of it.
depending on what it
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
depending on-
absolutely. But
But some stuff you
obviously,
can take home and wash.
if you vomit at the, if you're sick and you have a stomach bug or whatever, clearly you're not going to be there because you're sick and
You
those
shouldn't.
germs spread.
That's you know
so
what? That's
quickly.
actually excellent etiquette
Yes.
Yeah.
to add to your list. If you
Yes.
are sick,
Stay
home. And this isn't, I mean, I know we're living in this post-COVID world, and so it's gotten a lot more expected that that's how you handle it. But like, honestly, if you're sick, nobody needs that. And with the tight quarters at a theater, everybody will end up sick if you come. And you can wipe out the entire cast and completely derail a show from actually happening if you send your sick child in to the show.
Yeah.
So rehearsal or whatever, like they need to, if they're sick, stay home.
Yes.
And I mean, like, stay
Fevers,
home until they're
vomiting. Yeah. We don't want diarrhea. We don't want any of that stuff. Keep it home.
well. Yeah.
I'm sorry if your
I
child
know
will have
it's
to
just
miss
a stomach
performance.
bug. No, just keep them hot.
And then we'd rather them get rest and get better and hydrate and then come back the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
Ready to go. Because if we lose people, we can't do that. And if you vomit on your costume, you can't wear it again. And then you're done.
Yeah.
Then you're done.
Which is exactly how that went.
You'll exit left very quickly.
Yes.
So anyway.
All right. We
That's
did
where
it
we're
again.
Yep. That's
All
a
right,
wrap.
guys. Well, we'll see you next time.
Adios.